Good first half, and that includes going down by 1 goal, but still having the correct mentality to say, listen, we can still win this game. And then we do that. We score a goal at the stroke of halftime. And we come back second half. We still dominate the position. We still have more of the ball. But something is just not happening, man. There are certain things about Kaizer Chiefs that worries you, because you look at this, you look at the fact that 391 passes throughout the match. We had how many corners? We had 5 corners in total. Can I talk about corners, by the way, when it comes to Kaizer Chiefs? It never looks like we have a plan. Uyabona Sekhukhune today, their routine of taking corners, they copied routine for routine, that routine that Arsenal uses. They literally start as if they're offside, and then before the police kick, they come back. With my team, I never see any plan when it comes to corners. It's almost as if we're just saying, oh yeah, just kick the ball into an area, we'll try to attack it. I don't understand that. I don't understand also how Chiefs are in a situation whereby Abomodi get red cards because they lose their temper. I talked about Udove first half losing his temper. Experienced player. Now you have Umodi as well losing his temper, getting a red card at a critical point where we needed him. Basically, he was just handicapping us in the last few minutes of the game, and he ends the season without scoring a single goal. And we're talking about a winger here. You understand me? A winger for the first half of the season that I always complained about the fact that he didn't want to dribble past anyone, and that is why his output was horrible. And at the turn of the year, he started dribbling past people and doing all of these things, and that was brilliant. But now he wants to, not once, he ends his season in the worst possible way by getting a straight red card. That is just horrible from an experienced player. And this tells me that Chiefs has a mentality problem. Like, this is huge. You have Mtu Shabalala coming on in the second half, and he doesn't look like the Mtu Shabalala that he was when he came on against Pirates. Against Pirates, he looked hungry. He looked like he wanted to make an impact. But in today's game, I couldn't find him. I was like, what is happening with him? What is he doing? What is he offering us? It was nothing at all. And he was coming on for Sereno, who did not have a good game himself. He was just there. But we're not giving Sekhukhune any problems in the second half. And I just felt let down because of the fact that in the first half, I watched that game and I thought, okay, we're doing so well. But then in the second half, we just messed it up. Yes, there is the aspect of Eric Tinkler, especially the fact that we scored the goal in the last few minutes of the half. That might have given Tinkler that thing of saying, listen, we're losing balls too easy in transition. That is why we need to be better. And they were better in the second half. I won't lie. But at the same time, also, you need to be honest about the quality that Kaizer Chiefs possesses. You have players, I won't say them by names, you have players who can't control the ball. And we're talking about players who are supposed to be able to control the ball. Correction. Every player who's playing anywhere in the field at a professional level is supposed to be controlling the ball. I'm coaching under 10s in the morning. I see them failing to control the ball. They are 10. Some of them started playing football this year. Some of them, you can clearly see their parents just wanted them to have an activity that they can do. But now I watch Kaizer Chiefs at 3 p.m. I see the same thing. Someone who doesn't know where the ball is. It feels like they lost it. How can that happen at a senior level? How can a senior player run and just look at the ball and not be aware of his surroundings? And I know I'd finished talking about Umtutuzi, but there was a time where he could have played a through ball to Lilepo, but held onto a ball just a bit longer. And by the way, since I've mentioned Umtu, yes, I'm talking about Tutupri. The ball gets lost between his legs. Like, how do those things happen? Guys, we need to take each other serious, man, because you can't tell me that you're going to beat Pirates the previous week and then play Sekhukhune the very next week and fail to beat them. And you are better than them, not just in terms of the players that you have as a team, but also in terms of the mentality is supposed to be, We want the top 4 more than you guys want to be in the top 3. And by the way, Sekhukhune didn't play like, oh, we need to be in the top 3. It wasn't that kind of a game. It was more of a game whereby Sekhukhune were getting their chances because we're giving them the chances. And then the coach, I have to talk about Nabi because he's not covering himself in glory at times. You have a game which we had more possession on, right? And we were sort of in control of the game. Ngobo is not offering you anything. So Umart is already there in the game. Why not bring on Umatlo instead of Umteto? Because it's not like they were on top of us. Yes, before you brought on Umteto, Sekhukhune were slightly gaining some control. You can clearly see, like in the just after the interval, Sekhukhune started trying to come back to the game, but Mart could have done the job. Umatlo is still good when it comes to the offensive part of the game. Castillo, well, I'm not going to count Castillo. I'm going to count Umatlo because he's the one who's been getting game time of late. So now my question is, why then are you going to just go out there and bring on Umteto, who we have established? If it's a difficult game, you can bring him on. But Umatlo still brings physicality, but he also brings creativity. Because at that time when it was Mart and Mtetwa, you're no longer getting balls into the 10. I talked about Umtu being inefficient in a game, but also you're not going to be efficient if at least one of the pivots the other pivot is not playing the ball. Umart was the man of the match, rightfully so, and he was performing. But then the question is, why Umteto? Like Umteto is not a horrible player, but it's not a player you bring on if you're wanting to win a game. Yes, I know that's ironic to say after what he did last week. What he did last week though was coming in a team that was starting to be on top of us and that had better quality than us. Sekhukhune didn't. Abomtambo did not have that much quality, and not in terms of who they can play, but they were not posing threat that called for another defensive midfielder. You have Umatlo who could come in and still fight them off. You have Umtu with energy. And then Umatlo has played in that deeper role. He could have stayed and played in that deeper role, but we did not trust him. Uplom could have been brought on. Even I know the problem with Uplom is that so I understand why Uplom wasn't trusted, understand why Castillo wasn't trusted, but what I don't understand is why we just couldn't trust Umatlo to come in much earlier instead of taking off Umshini and bringing in someone who's not a like for like. Because I don't get it. Umtu did not do anything in this game. I'm sorry, but yeah, he didn't. Utu Prezi did not do anything. Obviously, Uplom came on and he came on to play as a makeshift left back. But we have the last match. Because not all hope is lost. Not all hope is lost because in the last match, we are playing against Polokwane City. Polokwane City currently have a goal difference of -6. We have a goal difference of -7. If we beat them, we will have 34 points, one more point compared to them, which means we'll go straight to number 8. And if we go to number 8, we'll go to number 7, and then we'll go to number 7, moving it cheaper outside of the top 8. So it's all in our hands. Because even if Marumo Gallants win their next match, they will have 34 points, which will be the same amount of points as us. But the difference is, Marumo Gallants will be with a goal difference of -13. Even if they win, they won't win by 5-0. So all Chiefs needs to do is to win their last game. Because if I said all they need to do is to draw their last game, it's dangerous. Because Abo Richards Bay, Abo Makesi, they still have a chance. Because even now, Makesi still has 3 games in hand that they haven't played. So Makesi could still finish above Kaizer Chiefs. But of course, that is highly unlikely. Because if I look at the games that they have remaining, their form is actually good. They beat Richards Bay. The last game they lost was to Chiefs, but then they've beaten Richards Bay, and then they beat Golden Arrows, then they beat Stellenbosch, then they beat TS Galaxy, then they drew with Sekhukhune. So Imakesi are in really good form, but tomorrow they are playing Sundowns, and after Sundowns They have Marumo Gallants. So there's that. And their last game, what are they playing for the last game? Wait, I can't see who they're playing for the last game. Because they're not going to play 27 games, are they? Who are they playing? Why is it then saying they have played 25 games? Oh, postponed. They still need to play Pirates. Yeah, in my case, it shouldn't be cause for concern because they still have Pirates and Sundowns. And out of those 3 games, Pirates, Sundowns, Marumo Gallants, they can surely lose one of those games. So let me check when they are playing Pirates. They are playing Orlando Pirates on the Pirates? Marumo Gallants. The fixture is not even scheduled yet. That makes no sense. But in any case, they have Sundowns, they have Pirates, which makes it slightly tricky for them. But the Chiefs just needs to beat Polokwane City and they're into the top 8. They avoid Sundowns, but that means their very first game of the season in terms of not in their first game of the MTN 8 will be playing against the Orlando Pirates, because at this point there's nothing we can do to bypass Amazulu unless of course we beat Amazulu. Amazulu lose their game and then they lose 1-0 and then they are on -6 or on -7. We beat Polokwane City by 2-0, then we'll be in the top 6. So it's still possible. The TS Galaxy are now safe in terms of being number 5. So now we have to hope that Amazulu don't draw with Pirates. We have to hope that Amazulu lose against Pirates, and we also have to beat Polokwane City. Beating Polokwane City, it's all in our hands. Makesi won't be beating Pirates and Sundowns. Even if they win one of their games, they'll be on 32 points, but then they will still have to beat Sundowns and Pirates. It's possible, but highly unlikely. But what did you make of the game? Let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, Khosi, Alpelomoy.